Hello, welcome to Balanced Health. I'm Shirley Rose, and this is Joe Costello. You know, every day we're bombarded with advertisements for health and vitamin supplements that make a lot of amazing claims. So how can we determine which claims are legitimate and which are just hype? We've learned that adding supplements to our diet is a really good idea. But which ones do we add, and how many supplements should we be taking? Joe will walk us through answers to these questions as we discuss the truths about supplementation. And to kick off the discussion, Joe's going to fill us in on a new study about vitamin D. Very, very interesting in this segment of Nutrition in the News.
In animal studies, vitamin D has strikingly reduced tumor growth, and a large number of observational studies in people have linked now low vitamin D levels to an increased risk of cancer, including cancers of the breast, rectum, ovary, prostate, stomach, bladder, esophagus, kidney, lung, pancreas, and uterus, as well as Hodgkin's lymphoma and multiple myeloma. That's pretty convincing.
That's amazing.
Researchers at Creighton University in Omaha conducted a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial. Show you that's the highest form and the most reliable form of clinical research you can use. Among 1,179 community living healthy post-menopausal women, they reported last year in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that over the course of 4 years, those taking calcium and 1,100 IU of vitamin D3, which is what we're talking about, vitamin D, developed about 80% fewer cancer than those who just took calcium or a placebo. Vitamin D, Shirley, is quickly becoming the powerhouse of nutrition and supplementation. And we're finding not only is it huge in its benefits, but we're finding that the RDA is way too low. Okay. Keep your eye on that. It's 400 IU right now, the RDA. I'm predicting 1,500 to 2,000 by the time these studies have been, finalized and the information has gotten back to the FDA and so on and so forth. So we're going to find that the RDA is going to go up a lot, but we're also finding that people are deficient in it. Because here's the thing, right? The RDA is 400 IU. Then it goes up to 1,500 IU. Guess what? Everybody's going to be deficient because they've been doing 400 IU.
But, you know, now vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And we were always told with fat-soluble vitamins, you have to be careful not to overdose on it. So when you go from 400 IUs to 1,500 IUs, I mean, that's a little scary to people, isn't it?
Well, it is in the sense that, you know, mathematically it looks like a big jump. But, and your point about fat-soluble vitamins is well taken. However, if 400 was way too low to begin with, and you can rest assured that by the time the FDA comes out and raises, and I might be wrong, maybe they don't raise it, I'm very certain they will, but by the time they do come out and raise it, you can rest assured that by that point they have unequivocally and beyond a reasonable doubt said we're never going to get in trouble from doing it.
So they're going to be very conservative in what they require.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, that's what we're seeing with vitamin D. Show. It's just a powerhouse of a nutrient.
Cool. Well, it looks like taking vitamin D supplement is a good idea, especially during the winter months. But what about other supplements? Is it true that more is better with supplements? Well, that's the topic of this week's Debunking the Myth. So, Joe, is more better?
Shirley, it turns out that not only is more not better, but more can often be dangerous. And vitamin D, which we've been talking, is a perfect example of it. You alluded earlier about, you know, fat-soluble vitamins and taking too much. Vitamin D toxicity is something that you wouldn't want to put your worst enemy through. So when you start getting into what we call therapeutic levels, which are, you know, several times the RDA, at that point in time, if you're not working with a health professional, you are putting your health in danger. There is actually a blood test for vitamin D, which most doctors won't even know what you're talking about. But if you ask, it's called hydroxy-25, and that measures the vitamin D level in your blood, and it's something that I would really recommend people to get. Your number should be in the mid to high 40s. Most Americans are in the high 30s to low 40s, but here's what's interesting about that, Shirley. Almost every person with chronic illness or acute illness, when their vitamin D level is tested, is low 30s to high 20s. So that is a very consistent marker in disease, is a low vitamin D level. It's very interesting. And you saw all the numerous types of cancers.
That was amazing. Even multiple myeloma and tumors in many organs of the body.
And that's a double-blind study. That's a double-blind, so random trial study.
It's not like a pharmaceutical company is skewing this for their own...
Or a nutritional company.
For their own benefits.
A nutritional company is skewing it either.
That's interesting. Well, why don't you start, because this show is about supplements. Why don't you start with a brief discussion of some of the supplements that we should be taking? You know, vitamin D is one. What are some of the others?
Oh, vitamin D would fall under vitamin supplements. You know, vitamins are the cofactors that work with every other nutrient in your body. Minerals. So you hear about a vitamin or a daily, you know, one supplement type thing. It usually has vitamins and minerals. Minerals are the spark plugs of life. They work together along with vitamins, and they provide a lot of functions to our bones, to our nervous system. So vitamins and minerals are always key. We can also get those in food. Remember, your dark green leafy vegetables will always be richest in those vitamins and minerals. Then we also go into a category of amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. And amino acids are also found relatively abundant in food. You can supplement on these things, and you probably should supplement on those things, but a good nutritious diet would not necessarily mandate supplementing in those things. Then we get into things like herbs. Herbs surely are something very, very different because, you know, all medicine, all pharmacopoeia has a origin of herbs. You know, we owe the Chinese and mostly Eastern culture to what we know about drugs now really goes all the way back to them. But herbs are something that should we take? Yes, but they are mostly therapeutic. So in other words, astragalus is something that's great for your immune system. So that's something somebody can take every day. Milk thistle is a great liver cleanser. That's something that somebody could take every day. But there are some other herbs that taken on a daily basis, like wormwood or witch hazel or butcher's broom. Some of these other herbs, and they sound funky, don't they?
Yeah.
Some of these taken on a daily basis.
St.
John's wort is something that should just not be taken randomly on a daily basis. So herbs are really very different and really need to be worked with with a health professional. So then we have antioxidants, which help the anti-aging process. Then we have digestive enzymes, which are the little worker bees in your body. They take the nutrition from a calorie of food and designate, kind of the general contractor, designate throughout your body what the jobs of those enzymes are.
Could I just go back to antioxidants for just a moment? Because you said they're important in anti-aging, but what that really means is more than not getting wrinkles on your face, okay? It means that they protect the cells, correct?
They protect the cells. They protect your cells from disease. But it's funny you mentioned skin because I am personally convinced that alopecia, which is baldness or hair loss in men, they always said it was so common among athletes.
And, oh my gosh, I've never heard that.
Oh yes, so it's much more. And it always said because they shower so much more because they're always, you know, working out in their practices and so on and so forth.
I thought you just inherited it from your mother's side of the family, and that's it.
They said that too, and there might be some of that, but I think that what we're seeing is that a lack of antioxidants and too much free radical activity causes the loss of hair.
Interesting.
I was losing my hair rapidly, and although I'm still not, you know, real furry on top there, I would say that in the last 5 years I have really staved off. And all I can tell you, the only thing I'm doing different, because I still work out 5-6 days a week, is I'm really hitting the antioxidants heavy, especially resveratrol, grapeseed extract, and a lot of things we actually have in our products.
Well, we're going to talk more about that, but for more information on today's subject or nutrition in the news, go to TLN.com and click on shows and then click on Balanced Health. Or to get a copy of today's show, give us a call at the number on your screen. And after the break, we'll learn which probiotics to look for and which to avoid while shopping. So stay tuned and become a pro at picking out probiotics.